I don't know, or I don't even remember running.
Hey, you know where the place land taxes at?
Closed.
They're closed.
They close at 4:30 except on Friday, they open till 5.
But it's down the hall when you come in that way.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
I don't ever know what
Yeah, I
to
need
do
to
there. I
lock
left
that
the
door.
unlocked. Everybody's here, we probably do.
I'm gonna lock it, cause that's the second person.
Yeah, anybody could walk in, but nobody was here when I
Well,
came
they can
in.
come walk in and stay hid till we leave.
Sure could.
This is the, I didn't make a copy of this, but you know, all of y'all had that attachment, that's what we voted on?
Yes,
you
that's
know, last
what we
time.
voted on, it was at their last meeting.
Right, that's what
At the big
attachment-
meeting.
Yeah, that's what the attachment is, was that resolution.
Okay.
And it tells you what number it is.
Okay.
This is Carol's copy.
It's almost time to call the meeting to order. I'm gonna pass out some sheets that I copied off my email. I'm sure everybody's got one. And once I call the meeting to order, which is gonna be in the next minute or so, we'll go into the minutes and then y'all can just digest it for a minute. Okay, I've got 5 o'clock. It's time to call the meeting of policy and personnel to order. We've got 2 or 3 things to discuss tonight. Actually, one big thing is judicial commissioners, but do I hear a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the last meeting? If not, we'll discuss them.
Motion to accept minutes as written and suspend the readings.
Everybody's got a copy, right? Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll say.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will dispense of reading the minutes then. Okay, I passed out, like I said, an email that was on my computer. I wanted y'all to just look at that. It's from a lady named Janice Sailors in Rock Island. I don't know Janice. You know her?
Yes,
Okay,
she's one of my constituents.
okay.
She both has my email address and my cell phone number
Okay.
and my house phone number.
I can't answer the question why everybody don't have .gov. It could be the cost. And certainly you can address Mr. Wales and he will definitely get something to you if it should come to you. Of course, she thinks it says here that everybody should, but you know, I can't answer that. That's not. And number 2, we have nothing to do with the salary scales. We have anything to do with Health and Welfare Committee and what the scales are and what people makes. Of course, when it comes to budget and finance, no matter what you do, everybody's not going to be happy. Y'all all know that. The committee votes you normally to give everybody the same raise, or there will be, like the last time and will be again this time, the salaries for judicial commissioners may be brought up, or somebody the time before that it was the election commission, and they will be different. Other than that, everybody gets the same salary, and I personally think that that's the fairest way to do it. But that's just my opinion. But unless budget and finance changes, or management committee, there's nothing we can do. But if anybody wants to address any of these, you can do so by contacting Mr. Wales, or you can call Ms. Sailors personally and address it.
Well, she was, permission to speak.
Absolutely.
She was at our last Health and Welfare meeting.
Okay.
And we did discuss Ms. Petrie's salary.
Right.
The salary started off, the very first person that had that job was a retired military person. And they didn't require, they were limited how much money they could make anyway.
Right.
And they didn't require much salary. And it started off as a low base pay.
Right.
And it does not pay as much as the other department heads, which the other department heads, a lot of them have been there for many, many years. And they've accumulated this higher salary over the years. And to say that Kim does not work hard would not be true. And she's got a ton of responsibility.
She sure
But
does.
we don't have, this committee has no
We sure don't.
way to change that. And she said that, and she told us that she intended to be at the budget and finance to
That's
want
where
to
it
speak
needs
there.
to come up to speak,
Yes,
because
and
they're
we
the ones that
encourage her
will
to
sit
be
there.
there if she wants to speak.
Absolutely, I
But did
agree.
the Health and Welfare Committee, are y'all making recommendations? Are you addressing it?
What that has not, we meet next week and that is on the item to be
Oh,
discussed.
good.
Y'all recommend one way or another, I think.
We can
Through budget
recommend
and
one way or the other.
Yeah, and then we look at it, and all the raises, of course, has to do with how much money we've got. And I don't know what's gonna happen this time, but anyways, anybody want to spend any more time on this?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that tonight. Where, if just like these committee meetings and stuff, if the county wanted to give more money, where does it start at? Does it start in policy and personnel, or what committee does it start in?
Money's for who?
It depends on,
For like these meetings right here. I mean, I
oh, you're
personally
talking about
think,
county commissioners?
I think the $25 is not enough for these committee meetings.
Well, you'd have to first in any committee, I would assume, could make a recommendation of rate of pay, then it would have to be,
Have to get a resolution.
resolution to go through full court, and full court would have to vote on it.
I mean, where does it
Go
start
in
at, Charles? Does it start in
until
policy and personnel, or?
Next election before it go in.
Well, you can actually go and have the resolution brought up yourself and ask for it to be on the docket, go through Herschel or the county attorney.
Right.
That's gotta go through full court.
It's happened 2 or 3 times since I've been here.
Yeah, and it's never, I know it's happened once or twice since I've been here, and it ain't never passed.
There are definitely some people it's not enough because, you know, if you drive, you live on the far end of the county, sometimes you get here and go back, you know, especially if you have to leave a job like you do, it's not enough money, but of course we all run, and the money's wasn't a factor when you run, but if you looked at that, you wouldn't be a county commissioner, I can tell you that.
True. But just like Miss Pete, I did not know, but is she not making minimum wage?
Oh, no, she's making 23,000 and change. And she has asked for, I believe it is 31, I've got the paperwork.
Okay.
She's asking for around
She makes
30, 31.
$11.05 an hour.
Okay.
Doing a job. She is extremely underpaid.
She is underpaid.
I don't agree, disagree, but in
$30,000?
all of us defense, a
30,000
bunch
would
of
be
them are
basically
misunderpaid.
$15 an hour.
Yeah, she don't make enough money.
Right here's probably the verse.
He don't make enough money either, I can tell you that. He does not, and of course, he's taking on new responsibilities, and that'll come up in budget and finance, we're gonna have to change it. But anyway, we've already talked to him.
Last year she asked for $12 an hour. And this year it's up 15 something an hour.
30,000 is 1442, so she's asked for a little more than 30 then, right? 30 something, whatever. Well,
I reckon she does a great job.
She does.
A lot of
She
good
does.
things about her.
She does.
Yeah.
She does a good job, and it's an ungrateful,
Oh, yeah.
very ungrateful job that she has to do and
There's a
deals
lot of metal.
and has to deal with a lot of tough people.
Yeah, but yes, she does, but I understand she does a great job. Everybody I've talked to that knows her says she does wonderful. And I'm not on health and welfare, but I would recommend her get a raise also. But you can't do it until budget comes up and we get it approved through the budget. That's what we have.
Our next meeting is But, and referring back to this, you know, Ms. Saylor said that she would be at the Budget and Finance to speak on behalf of Ms. Petrie, and we told her that she could do that.
Absolutely.
And that's where
And
it
that's
should
where she
be.
needs to be if she.
But if, as far as getting in contact with me, and Shane sends me emails, Mr. Wilcher or Worth sends me emails, my email address is out there, and if anybody calls my house phone, it gives them my cell phone, so I'm pretty accessible.
Well,
And
but
she's called me
everybody's
before.
accessible because
Yeah.
they can email Mr. Wells or Carol, and she immediately forwards it to the
Immediately
proper
forwards it
committee.
right out, so.
That's what she really needs to understand, is
I
that,
think the only reason everybody in it is the cost. It costs money to do that.
I don't know, it may not cost to add
think it
onto
does.
.gov.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I know that when we add employees onto our internal email, it doesn't cost. I don't know, but it's still, I've never known anybody not to find somebody when they want them these
Yeah.
days. But anyway,
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm illiterate, but I would have thought all policy or personnel or raises or anything would have started in Policy and Personnel Committee. I mean, anybody, it don't work that
We
way.
have got a bunch of them, I mean, a bunch.
But we don't determine raises of no kind.
No, we don't
Budget
do raises.
Finance according to how much money's in the budget.
But do we recommend, Charles, or is
We
it?
can recommend anything.
But it won't
But
have.
I mean, it's like hers, does that have to come from health and
No,
welfare
every
versus
budget that
policy and
comes through,
personnel?
every budget that I've looked at 5 budgets so far. Every budget came through with somebody asking for a raise for their people and for themselves.
They
We
always
exempt the raises and leave it up to Budget and Finance. That's the only way you can do it.
And Budget and Finance has to look and see what kind of money we
Money's
got. Are we
available.
gonna raise taxes, or are we not gonna raise taxes? Where are we at if we raise it 2 cents or whatever? And then it, you know, well,
I know.
we got a lot going on
I
this
know.
time. It's gonna be tough not to. And not that I want to. Nobody wants to pay more taxes. But it's gonna be interesting how it comes out this time. I'm more worried this time than I have been since I've been a commissioner.
How's the revenues? I hadn't seen anything about, I mean, or I guess I hadn't studied it, but like losing the hospital revenues and all that, is it really hitting a good
yeah.
lick?
That's it, really. It's hurt us on our,
300,000.
City county lawsuit, we're having to pay that money.
I know that was gonna eventually gobble us up.
And the issue up on the mountain, we
Yeah.
lost that one.
Yeah.
We partially lost it.
Yeah, partially,
We lost the revenue on the buildings, but they still won't pay on the land.
you're right. But all of that adds
the
up.
only thing that saved our bacon wine is sales tax have been up. We got a little more money that way, or we'd be in
Yeah.
trouble before now.
But that's pretty well leveled off. It's not as high as
And
it's
if it
been. I
goes
checked
down, or
that
the
the
economy
other day.
goes down, we're gonna be in a pickle. Then we're talking $7 million on a jail expansion. I mean, it's ridiculous what we're looking at everywhere, everybody is. I mean,
And
and like I said, I've already looked at 5 budgets to be proposed already in this month.
and everybody
And
wants more money.
everybody wants their administrator to have $7,000 more raise, and their employees to have a $2 an hour raise, and it ain't gonna happen.
And I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I would never say that. But we gotta have the money before we can do it, before we can do anything. No matter what scale you look at, it's like your home budget. You look at it, if you ain't got the money to buy a new car, you don't buy a new car. You know, that's the way it is. But still, we've got ways to get, because all we can do is raise taxes. And we got no other way. And that's gotta go before
Saying
the
it's now
commission.
worth what, $65,000, $65,000, a penny increase in taxes is worth something, or in that range. So if you're talking any amount of money to make any difference, you're talking 10 cents, not 2 cents.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, 2 cents, $120,000 a year, you can split that.
I
You can
have
spend
heard
$130,000.
many times.
25 cents would be $1.5 million, and $1.5 million won't go very far.
So we hadn't raised taxes in what, 10, 11 years?
Longer than that.
20.
No, it's been about 12 or 13, hasn't it?
Well, not since I've been a commissioner, we have not raised.
Oh, you hadn't?
No.
Somebody said right before I come on, the reason I said that, I didn't know.
I think it's closer to the 20-year mark.
Maybe.
I believe around 16, it's somewhere in the neighborhood.
And
Maybe 14.
that is a long time.
Yeah.
It is.
And
It is.
I'm not promoting raising taxes, but I don't see how you can keep going without doing something.
Well, the thing is, I've heard a lot of people say if you'd raised it 1 or 2 cents, you would, but that's not necessarily true. If you've got the money, you don't want to raise it 1 or 2 cents if you've got it. But
But when you keep losing money out of your budget and you're
got to
talking
some-
millions of dollars and it's all added up over a 10-year period,
Yeah.
there's something got to give.
yeah, it does. You're right. And I think this is a year probably.
That city thing is going to really hurt me.
Oh, yeah, every year it hurts more and more, and like I said, before long, what is it total we're losing? Is it like $3 million total when it's all in and done and come out of our budget?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that's a whole lot of money.
Really close to that.
I mean, it's spread out over years, thank God, but it's still gonna come out sooner or later. What is it?
It doubles every year, don't it, Charles?
Yeah,
It doubles every year.
Every year.
Yep, they started out at, what, 40 or 50, and 80, and 160 on.
Till it gets to the max, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna stop unless somebody else has they want to discuss on this email I got. Okay. And, okay. Did everybody get one of these sheets? You want one out of Jim?
Yes.
I asked Jim if he would to come in, and I'd also like Jim to be here when we do the interviews. We have sort of made Jim a supervisor, or not just sort of, we have, or whoever happens to be in the position he's in working days, and I think he needs to know what we're doing, and if he has a problem with somebody or somebody he really wants to recommend, I think we need to listen to him. Y'all disagree with me? If you do, then but I really think he does.
I don't know.
I've always been straight with Jim. I tell him up front just like it is, and he does me. And I appreciate it, and I think he does. So, but I have the applications, and we really need at least one fill-in, and I have not a problem hiring 2, and I would like to interview, this is my personal thoughts, and y'all tell me if you feel different, at least 3 of them. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right up front where we started, the very first name on there lives in Spencer, and we have never looked at one out of Warren County. And it's my understanding it's the law they have to live in Warren County, not just the 15 minutes that we require them to be there. But if anybody has anything else they want to say about that, I'll listen. Otherwise, I'm going to lay it aside.
Lay it aside, in my opinion.
We've done it every time before.
I provided you with the TCA code that governs the residential.
Isn't that what it says? They have to live in the county?
They do have to live in the county.
Okay. It says based on Tennessee Code 8-48101, the office concludes that a person must be a resident of the county to hold the office of a judicial commissioner in that county under the Tennessee Code. So that pretty well, it's the law. It's not just us saying that, but we've always done that. And
Well, I'd like to make a motion that the next time we advertise it, we put that as one of the requirements.
Put it in the ad.
You must be a resident of Warren County.
I think that would be a good
That
thing
would
to do.
eliminate that.
Nobody's going to move to Warren County, I don't believe, for this job, for the judicial commissioner as a part-time fill-in. I don't think they would. But it doesn't matter. The law says we can't do it. They have to be a resident. That's what we got to do anyway. Okay?
I second that motion.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. I do not know number 2, 3, 4. I do know 5 and 6. And I'm going to kind of go in reverse here. And I'm going to pass that one around. And we'll try to go over these pretty quick. I don't necessarily need to look at his. I've known him for many years. He was a police lieutenant, and he's been a guard out at
Who are you talking about now, Ken?
Glen Ray.
Okay.
He's been a guard out at, I believe, Bridgestone, and then he was at Ulster, and Ulster done some changes and downsizing, and he's been laid off. And as far as I know, Glenn had some health problems, but I think he's overcome that. And I would definitely,
That's good to hear.
And you said he has law enforcement background.
oh yeah, I think he was a police lieutenant when he
He's the
retired.
police department for 17
I don't
years.
know that I even.
He was with the county at one time.
County sheriff's
the deputy
I
sheriff.
need to look at it.
Okay.
We need to interview him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we do too. Glenn's a good guy. I mean, he's straight as anybody I know, and I think he would make a good commissioner. I really do.
Are we gonna rate these ones or something? Or are we just looking at them? and
Well, we've always done that. We would probably need to continue the same way. Let's just say 1 through 5,
Okay.
and
Have all your opinion.
Thank you. Total experience.
I didn't come prepared. I got 2 laying in the truck and I didn't bring one.
and while y'all are rating him, I'm gonna read something to you. The next one,
I would rate them on one scale of 1 to...
1 through 5, 5 being the best.
Okay.
Okay. The next one, I'll pass it out. I know him very well too. This gentleman is an alderman for the city of McMinnville. Tennessee code says that no member of the county legislative body or any county to which this subdivision applies shall be eligible for appointment as a judicial commissioner. I do not know if that means a city alderman or not. So if we choose to interview him, I think we need to get a ruling from either the state of Tennessee, and I've got a number for the guy over the judge or the county attorney. Either one of them tells me go, then I'm good with it. I think Mike Neal will be a good one. He used to be a deputy sheriff. He was a county commissioner. And you know, I know him. He's straight up, as far as I know. He's a good fella. And I'd like to interview him. I'm gonna give him the points, and y'all put what you want to on there, and I will find this out. And if we cannot use him as if they say we can't, it's like the one that lives out. It's out. There's nothing we can do. But I don't want to do that to him right now till we find out if he can. And I have no idea. Okay. Did everybody look at his or? I'm going totally.
Wins back.
Yeah. Let's lay it over here with that one. The next one, I'm going up the sheet backwards. And this is one that we already talked about a little bit. This lady ran for, I didn't know that, but she ran for the commissioner apparently. I believe it would have been the 5th district because that's where this address is. I'm trying to figure out what she does now. I don't know her at all. Anybody, do you know what she does now for a living?
I don't know what she does now. Mr. Wilcher, do you know what she does now?
Who does? Mark?
It's Marlene Lawson.
I don't know if she does anything. I don't know if she works or what. I don't know what her situation would be.
She's a substitute teacher. Pretty good application.
Can you look at this with me? It's kind of long.
Does Mike Neal work anywhere besides the store there now?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. All I know is that at one time was a deputy sheriff and he was a county commissioner. I don't know how long he was a county commissioner. And I know he's an alderman now, but I don't know anything else about him.
He does run the music shop and gun store there on Main Street.
Okay.
And he runs that at least 5.5 days a week. I know he works it Monday through Friday during typical, I don't know his exact hours, but typical day hours. And I think he works a half a day on Saturdays.
Well, he also, he's a preacher also. He's from 2011 to present.
I mean, I've met him several times and I like the gentleman. I think he's a good guy.
No, he's a good
He's a good man.
He is good.
The next one I'm looking at here, Jim, is put you down as a reference. It's got Tommy Dodd and Paul McMahon. It's got 3 pretty good references. I'm talking about you, Jim, but he's got 33 good ones on there. He was a correctional officer, and he is retired now. I think you know him personally. He worked for the Warren County Sheriff's Office for 7 years, looks like.
I've known him for quite a while.
Who you looking at?
A good, dependable worker.
Is that Harold Keith?
Yeah.
Is he the one, is he retired, work as a carrier?
He did work at Carrier at one time, and then he retired from the sheriff's department, and I believe he runs a computer business, kind of a home-based computer business.
I went to school with Harold Keith, that's who I'm thinking about, but,
As a correctional officer in the sheriff's department for 7 years.
I don't see how that can be done.
Most of the folks that have been police officers or correctional officers, they have some knowledge of why we have to do these warrants and how they're written and everything, which is it's something to talk to them about when we interview, that's for sure. See what they do know, and we need the best qualified people we can find, that's for sure. And so far, the applications I've looked at, we've got some good applications. We don't have many, but we got some good ones.
This lady is learning Spanish. Says her daughter-in-law is fluent in Spanish, and she's learning Spanish. That would be a plus.
That would definitely be a plus.
that's him. 71 to 205, that's gotta be Harold, that's gotta be the one I know.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't know another Harold Keith. I'm sure it's him.
The last one that I've got here is Tabitha Jeffries. I don't know Tabitha at all either, but she's got a good application too.
What if we just
Yeah, that means,
interview the 5 we got and go from there?
sounds good to me. If that's,
I mean, we've only got 5 applicants, 15 minutes apiece, we're still only
and
looking.
sometimes you're surprised at an interview. I know there's been some.
Can I see Tabitha's?
You sure can.
I mean, that's just a suggestion, I'm just asking, if there's only 5 of them qualified, and they all,
It looks like they're all good qualified people.
She's got her master's in criminal justice.
Yeah.
Her bachelor's in law enforcement.
Well, how about that Sue Jefferson? Well, you didn't talk about her. Did anybody know her?
that's the one he's just talking about here.
This is her, Tabitha, right here.
She's got a,
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's,
that's
you said she had a master's in criminal justice?
yes, from Arizona State University and a bachelor's in law enforcement from Middle Tennessee State. This is absolutely the most qualified applicants we've
Oh,
ever
yeah.
had since I've been involved in this.
No doubt about it.
Which one?
All of them.
Oh,
This is the
Yes.
best group I've seen.
yeah.
Well, I hadn't looked at that first one, but we can't because Spencer.
Yeah.
But
So So,
It sounds like every one of them's good. The interview will do a lot.
you know, and their references are all associated to law enforcement. So they,
You know, I've been on this committee, but I don't know how many of these things we've done through the years. It seems like every time we get one like that right there, that looks too good.
They don't take it.
No, like 3 or 4 months, they're gone.
Or the last time we did, they find out there's no insurance,
Right.
no benefits, they won't even come in.
No, I mean, we've had some really good people through the years.
We have to drop out the Alderman, we're only left with 4. That's a if.
And I'm gonna know that as soon as I can find out.
And then when you talk, you know, I take call either one.
I think.
I'd say let's recommend us.
I'll make a motion that we interview all of them.
All 5.
Yes.
I'll second that.
And you got a motion and a second.
I'm like Charles, it can't take too long.
And they've got them.
No, and
Everyone's got good resumes.
yes.
Do they know that there's no insurance, nothing now? I mean, has that been explained to them, or do they know that up front?
I honestly don't know. I know we had one last time that didn't, some of them wouldn't take it if it was offered. I don't know about Mr. Keithley, I don't know. And I will tell you that Glenn Ray is probably in the same thing that you were in, Jim, the
TCRS.
TCRS, and you can only work so many hours.
Under the TCRS guidelines, you can work 120 days a year or 960 hours, whichever comes first. Now that's based on someone working an 8-hour shift 5 days a week. That will put you working about 6 months, approximately close to 6 months, and then after that period of time, once you gain that 120 days or 960 hours, before you get there, you've got to stop working, or you will have to
suspend your retirement
benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Now see, I work full-time now, I'm over those match days, 120, so therefore I had to suspend my retirement benefits as long as I continue to work. Now, it's not regainable. Once you suspend it, it's suspended until you give up the employment that puts you in that situation. So that's the situation I'm in, and we've got to be careful that anyone that...
I think we have to, anybody we think that might be, including Michael Neal and Glenn Ray, we definitely need to tell them, well, probably every one of them, just to be safe.
Full disclosure.
Harold
Yes.
Keithley would be an example. When he's retired from the sheriff's department.
Yeah, he definitely would, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, he would be, one I'm thinking about, he would be 67 or 68.
That's probably correct.
This Carol's the one who calls and schedules interviews, right?
Yes, she does.
Could we ask her to make sure that they know we're interested in interviewing them, but want to make sure they understand it's a part-time position, there are no benefits, what the current starting pay would be, and if they are retired from the state of Tennessee, there are some ramifications that they have to know about that. Could she make those 4 comments to them, and that way they would know up front?
Right.
Is that okay?
And then if they don't want to be interviewed, she won't even list them on the page.
Right.
And if I could make a suggestion,
I'm just looking for
Is that
Yeah.
right with you?
Okay, we still need to vote on this last motion. All in favor? Any opposed?
We'll be interviewing.
Interview all.
Who made that motion? I didn't see that, hear
I
that.
made the motion.
And
Oh, you did,
Wayne
Tom.
seconded.
Wayne second.
Okay.
What were you saying now, Jim?
a suggestion, if I may, is that anyone we hire, I feel like they should be put on a probationary period. If they're unable to learn TCA law, if they cannot learn the criminal law of the state of Tennessee and how to apply it regarding probable cause determination, there's a problem. It can be a problem. It's an extremely important aspect of criminal law. It is the infancy of criminal law in terms of putting someone in a position of detention or arrest, and they've got to learn that aspect of it. But my suggestion would be if you can put them on some period of probationary period, if they can't learn anything,
I agree, and I was going to bring it up
Well, all
because,
employees with this county are on the 90-day probationary period now. They all are. It's in the
well, we're going to know within 90 days if they're going to make it or not.
Yeah.
We
Well, in
will.
30 days, you start
Yeah.
reviewing the problems, and 60, you
You correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, reading the TCA codes, I read a part of it in there. This committee really doesn't have the authority to fire somebody. We can hire, but we can't fire them. Am I right? Did I read that right?
you're exactly right. And I provided you with that
Mm-hmm.
statute that governs that. You have to ouster a judicial commissioner. A judicial commissioner is unlike any other county employee you've got. It is an appointed position under oath by you guys.
Yeah.
And setting court.
They're almost like a judge, or they are a judge.
Well, we are judges.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times people don't like to say, oh, you judicial commissioner, you're not really this, We are judges, and there's,
You can hire, but we can't.
you have to ouster a judicial commissioner through. File an ouster.
Do you have a comment you want to make?
Yeah, I just want to say, I agree with Jim. I mean, the common person in Warren County does not understand a judicial commissioner sits on the same level as judges in some aspects, and when you go to file a complaint against a judicial commissioner, which y'all know I did a few years ago, and many of you on this committee have heard that, you file a complaint with the same board that disciplines judges, and that's unusual. And that's one reason why their pay is very important and their responsibilities are extremely important, because I was put in jail on a bad abortion of a warrant. Y'all know that. So I'm very appreciative that Jim is in control now, and he knows the law like probably no one else in Warren County, and the TCA is extremely important. But I appreciate you pointing that out, Jim. You are absolutely correct.
Ken.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go.
Okay. Is there anything else that needs to come before the committee?
Well, let's see. No.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Second by Charles, all in favor? Okay. I'm gonna find out about Mike and see if we can't hire him, Mike.
Who seconded that? Charles?
Charles. You know Harvey Barnes.
They will cut
Harvey
paper like
Barnes.
crazy.
He's just.
And they won't cut
I
material.
do, actually, I
Cut
talked to
material with
him, not long ago.
He's a good friend of mine. I asked him, I said, Harvey, have you ever turned down anybody? He said, no. I said, I've never turned down a warrant when they come to me.
I mean,
I said, you're kidding.
they cut
He said,
paper good.
No, he said, I feel like
They
we're there,
cut
at least ask for a
material.
material.